Hi, my name is Kinsley and I'm going to be your instructor on this course. In this course, you're going to be learning everything you need to get started in designing professionally with CorelDraw. It's going to be a lot, but because we want to make the learning process easy for you, we decided to divide this course into 4 independent sections. Each section will be posted here on this channel every week till it's completed. Do wait to subscribe and hit the bell button so you get notified when the next section arrives. With that said, we can move into what we have for today. In today's section, we will learn how to use more CorelDraw tools, how to make multiple selection. We will learn some interesting things we can do with objects like group and ungroup, weld, trim, intersect, and others. Finally, we will conclude this section by making our first design. Welcome back. It's nice having you here again. We're going to be picking up from where we left off last week. If you haven't seen the first section of this course, I suggest you go ahead and watch it before coming over to this one. You'll find the link in the description below. If you don't mind, let's get started. Alright, in this section we're going to be going over new tools and how we can use them. The first tool we're going to be going over is polygon tool. This is the tool over here, polygon tool. To use this tool is very similar to the rectangle and the ellipse tool. You click and drag, and if you want the width and the height to be equal, you click and drag, but this time you use your control key. Now there's something special about this particular tool, or this particular shape rather. You can decide to come over here and increase the number of sides. The next tool we're going to be going over is something called the star tool. Just like the name suggests, you can use it for drawing stars. But to get this tool, you have to go over to this polygon tool, and then do you see this little red dot, or should I say this little red triangle by the side? Click on it and it will reveal other tools under it. So this is the star tool. Click on it and you can draw a star with that. Another tool we're going to be using is this complex star tool. There's several tools here we can try out for making spirals. We can come over here and choose the thickness of the line. You can also choose the style of the line, and you can also choose whether you want it to have some kind of arrow at the beginning and at the end of the issue. Another tool I'm going to show you how to use is the basic shapes tool. This is called basic shapes. Click on it, and then what you can do is you can draw some other basic shapes. Let's try out this shape here. You can use your control key to keep it in proportion. Make sure you try every other kind of shape under this tool, and let's move on to the next thing, which is click on that dot, and then you see arrow shape. You can use the arrow shape, and you can decide on the kind of arrow you want. And you can also use something called flowchart shapes. Same way, you click, hold and drag, and there's some other tools under it, and there is more. The banner shape. This helps you to draw banners. That doesn't look like a banner. Alright, there's other kind of banners here. You can pick them. Yeah, cool. And then there are others too. The last one we're going to go over is the callout shapes under this category. It's used for drawing this callouts, and you can also pick from a variety of different kinds of callouts, shapes and stuff. So that is it for this group of shapes. There's also one more tool I want to show you guys in this lesson. This is the most important tool that you're going to learn in this lesson, which is called the shape tool. It's basically used for shaping other shapes. That's why it's called the shape tool. With this tool, when you click on some of this shape, you can have some basic function you can do with it. Like this, you can use it to move this pointed edge. For a rectangle, you can use it to curve the edges. And you can also decide to curve just one edge by clicking on it, and then you can call that. You can also use the shape tool to shape some other shapes like the star. I think you can use it to shape pretty much any shape at all. Alright, play around with these tools we've learned now, and also play around with this shape tool to see the kind of stuff you can do with it. In the next section, we're going to learn how we can select multiple objects together. Alright, in this lesson we're going to be learning how we can select multiple objects in CorelDraw. There are several ways you can do that. The first way is the highlight method. You can choose to use your pick tool, then you click, hold and drag over the object you want to select. You can move multiple items by the same method. All you have to do is select them first, and then you can click, hold and drag them. Another way you can move or select multiple items is by using the shift method. Click on the first, hold down shift, and click on the second object, and you can also affect them together. Now there's something interesting I want to show you here. Alignment. Now when you pick two objects, let's pick this rectangle and this square. Now let's say they all align to the right. There's a keyboard shortcut for that. Just highlight that and click arrow on your keyboard. And if you want them to align to the left, you just click L. They align to the left. If you want them to meet together in the center, you use C and E, and they will meet together at the center. If you want them to align to the bottom, let's click the square and the circle and click B. You see they align at the bottom. If we bring down this ruler, if we bring down the ruler line, you see that they are both aligned at the bottom. And you can also align at the top, pressing T on your keyboard to align them at the top. In this lesson, we will be learning how to perform some basic function in CorelDraw. The first thing we're going to be learning is how to group and ungroup selected objects. I'm going to use the shift method here. I'm holding down shift, and so I click on the square, so they are both selected. Now I can group this item by coming over to this part here, group objects, or I can simply press Ctrl G on my keyboard. Now to ungroup them, you click on them and then you come over here to this place, ungroup object. So now they are ungrouped. Now if this is a case where multiple objects is being grouped, now what you do is that you want to ungroup all objects. That way you can now have control over individual objects in that selection. Another thing fascinating I want to show you guys is something called weld. You can weld two objects together to become one. Like, let me show you an instance. Now if I move this rectangle over here and I select both of them, now I've selected both. Now if I come over to this place here, I click on this. This is the function weld. Now they will both weld as one. Now there's a downside to this guy. You can't really undo it, unlike the group. But when you weld an object, they are together for life. Another thing interesting you can do here is something called trim. You can decide to trim an object with another object. I can come over here and I will trim it. Now what will happen is that the object on top will cut off a part from the object under. Now notice as I move the circle, it has chopped off this part of the square. Another thing you can also do is something called intersect. And let me copy and paste this. There's two shapes here. Let me call it the second one yellow. Now when you highlight this and you click on intersect, this is what happens. It forms a third shape out of the intersect of the two shapes you've placed together. You feel free to play around with other functions here. Play around with the simplify, the front minus back, the back minus front, and then the last one, create boundary, and then see how these things work. Alright, welcome. This is the part where we create our first design together. This is a long one coming. We were supposed to create our first design on the first section, but due to some reasons we are creating it here. It's even better because we've got a chance to learn even more amazing and interesting tools that we can use in our first design together. Alright, in our first design, this is what we're going to be creating. It's a very easy design, and we're gonna be using wall of land in making it. There's no foreign material, there's no foreign tool in the making of this design. Alright, let's just get right into it. And first we're gonna need a square. Next we want a text. Click on text. Good. Now I want to change the font style. I'm gonna go for Century Gothic, and I'm gonna make it bold. I want to resize it with my pick tool to be this big. So far, so good. Now I want to color the square at the background. I want to give it a gradient. So we'll go into the an interactive fill tool. Then click, hold and drag on it, and click on this. Give it a color. I'm gonna go for a light green here. Click on this. Give it a color. I'm going to go for something like a light blue. I'm going to remove this outline. It's kind of ugly. Come over to this top. This is where there's some sort of X there. But if I click on it, I'm going to take care of the outline. I'm going to remove it completely. Now let's make our text white. Now I want to separate this sentence. My name is Kingsley, and from I am a KB learner. Now to separate this, you go over to object, and then you come down here to break artistic text. Now just separate. Good. Now let's make this one smaller. That's very clean. And then let's create a rectangle over it. So now we're going to select both of them. We're going to use CE to make sure both of them are aligned in the very center of themselves. Now that's so far so good. So now we want to trim the text from the rectangle. Easy. What you have to do is click on the text first. Remember our lesson on trim. Then you hold down your shift and click on the rectangle. Now click on trim to trim that. Good. Now we've done that, so we can get rid of this text. We don't need it anymore. And then come here and give this a color white. So far so good. You can go on and align them to the center. Now this is the font part. I want you to play with the shape, the several tools we've learned how to use, and just design it the way you want, the way you feel like. Alright, that's it, we're done. So you are very free to design it the way you like and play around with the tools you've learned in making the design, and make sure it is your name that's written here, and also play with the colors. Okay, you're very free, do whatever you like, whatever you feel is cool, you do that. And there's one more thing we need from you. As soon as you're done with exporting this file, I want you to post it on the social media handles and tag KB and design. That way we can see the amazing design you came up with, and we actually want to know those who are actually following through with this tutorial. Exporting your file is super easy. First, you need to go on and highlight the whole design. Next, you come over here and click on export. Here you come and go for JPEG bitmaps there, and click on export. Next, you come over here and click on RGB color and OK. That's it. Thanks for watching, and till next week. Bye bye.